Hello there, it's Glenn. I hope you enjoyed John's first video, welcoming you to the program and to this very first module. I'm going to take over the reins for the next few videos, starting with this first lesson, which is entitled Why You're Not Getting Much Traffic and What to Do About It. Now, from our experience, there are three main reasons that you're not getting enough traffic to your blog or website. And this video is going to deal with each one in sequence. But just to give you a quick taste, the three reasons are you have too many options. This thing we like to call shiny object syndrome, deliberately a little bit cryptic, but you'll see what that means in a moment. And this idea that you haven't paid the price of entry yet. So let's dive in and see what we mean by each of those three reasons. Starting with the first one, too many options. Now, in the past, when you've thought about how you might get more traffic to your blog, you probably haven't had the worry that you don't have enough ideas of which direction you might go. After all, there's no shortage of traffic advice online. Here are just a few example posts. 49 expert traffic generation tips. 99 ways to flood your website with traffic, website traffic tips. That's a Kindle book. 101 simple and effective ways to increase your blog traffic. And just to prove that we're no better than anybody else, sometimes 77 resources that will get you more traffic than naked pictures of Kim Kardashian, and that's from Smart Blogger. So there are dozens, if not hundreds of ideas out there. The problem is, which ones do you actually pick? Which ones are going to work for you? And the problem is that most traffic tips you find online are actually traffic tactics. But what you really need is a traffic strategy. Now, what's the big difference between those two concepts? Why is it such an important distinction? Well, your strategy is a high-level plan for getting traffic, whereas your tactics are the specific methods you use to get that traffic. So let's look at an example or an analogy. You take a jigsaw. A jigsaw is built up, obviously, of smaller jigsaw pieces to build a bigger picture. And you can think that an individual piece of the jigsaw is like a tactic. It's just one of the necessary pieces to build the larger picture. But the strategy is the whole jigsaw. It's the big picture. And if you view a single tactic in isolation, it often doesn't make sense unless it's in the context of a bigger strategy. In the context of a jigsaw, you could look at one small piece and not really know what the ultimate picture was going to be because you're only seeing such a small piece of it. And interestingly, to extend the analogy, just picking, a tactic off of this list and a traffic tactic off of another list, it's a little bit like picking a piece from one jigsaw and then a piece from a completely different jigsaw and hoping that somehow they'll fit together to make a meaningful, recognizable picture. And of course, in reality, that's not going to happen. And that's one of the reasons why just trying these odd tactics here and there is not working for you and your blog. And the advantage with a strategy is that once you have the right strategy, it's much easier to choose the right tactics. Now, the next reason that you aren't getting much traffic to your blog is this shiny object syndrome. And I don't know if you've heard that expression before, but it's this idea that something new appears on the scene and suddenly it draws all of your attention. You're excited by it. Your thoughts are dominated by it, and it seems to be the answer to all of your problems and needs. And then it turns out maybe it's not quite the solution to absolutely everything, and you're depressed for a while until the next thing comes along. And in the context of blog traffic, the source of these shiny objects is this fact that gurus, the online gurus, they make money by dangling shiny things in front of you, different courses and programs and products and all of those kinds of things. Just a few examples, product launch formula, podcaster's paradise, launch your dream book course. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of these programs at all. Some of them are, probably all of them are excellent programs. But the problem is that there's a big launch, you get excited about it, and suddenly you're thinking, oh, well, maybe the best thing for me to do is launch a product. Okay, I'm going to throw all of my energies at launching a product. That's the best thing to do. But then you see something else and you think, oh, hang on, maybe I should be doing a podcast. Maybe that's where I should be starting. Or hang on, perhaps I should be, what if I write a book, and that will build the authority I need to get some traffic. And you're kind of pulled in these different directions. And the result is that you are constantly questioning your approach, and essentially you're just waiting for the next shiny object to arrive. So what's the answer to that? Because it's something that most of us are susceptible to. And the answer is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is ignore everything, ignore all of these other tempting offers until you've worked out the right strategy for you and your blog. And that's obviously what we're going to help you do in this course. And once you've done that, once you have a strategy, you should ignore everything that doesn't fit in with that strategy. I'm not saying that you should never buy another product or anything like that, but only spend time on things that fit with the strategy that you've decided. And this is the big thing, because if you don't focus, you will fail. You've probably experienced this up until now. You've been doing various things and feel like you're spinning your wheels, even though you've tried lots of things that should have brought you traffic. The sum total really doesn't justify the effort that you've put in. Now, the third reason that you're not getting much traffic, and this perhaps is harder to hear, is that you haven't paid the price. And what do we mean by that? Well, I'm afraid to tell you that you've been tricked, and you've been tricked into believing this idea that there is such a thing as free traffic, that if you somehow know the magical incantation, that you can achieve this thing, this magical thing, free traffic, which is quick, costs no money, and you just need to find that magic formula. But in the real world, unfortunately, there's no such thing as free traffic. Traffic always costs you something. And in reality, it comes down to two things: time or money. And the question is, well, which will you spend? Which are you prepared to spend? Because the hard truth is, if you're not willing to invest hundreds of hours or maybe thousands of dollars in getting the traffic that you want, you might as well give up now. And I mean it, you might as well, put a "sorry, we're closed" sign on your blog and go and do something else, because those are the entry tickets, if you like, for blog traffic. If you're still here, if you're still with me, the good news is that once you have the right strategy, every hour or dollar you spend will get you closer to the traffic you need. You'll stop spinning your wheels and you'll start making progress. It won't come for free. You'll have to spend time or money, but you know that you'll actually be pushing in the right direction, rather than doing a kind of a walk in one direction for a week and then in a completely different direction, the sum total of which is that you don't really get anywhere. So that's it. That's the end of this lesson. Hopefully that's explained one or more of the reasons why currently you're not getting much traffic. And as we go through these modules, we're going to focus in on the strategy that's right for you. So I'll see you in the next lesson.